Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the 5 things that you're going to need for hydrographics. So of course, if you've watched any of our other videos, you can see that we have a full professional shop with everything that you would need for the hydrographics, including paint booths, tanks, all the equipment, everything like that. But let's say that you're wanting to get started on a smaller scale. So we've made a list of 5 different things that you definitely need to have for getting started into the hydrographics. So let's get started. Number 1 is going to be a container of water. So of course, you can clearly see we have a very large tank behind us. And if you've watched any of our other videos, you can see that we can fit a lot of larger items in there. So of course, the biggest thing that to remember is that whatever part that you're wanting to dip, you need to have a container of water that is able to allow that to be completely submerged into it. Now, you can get very creative and do something where a lot of people with the DIY parts will do like a Tupperware container, or even we've seen people with horse troughs or anything like that. But as long as it can hold water, then you can get started with the hydrographics. Number 2 is going to be you need paint and clear coat. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but every part that we dip in every one of our videos has always been properly prepared. So we have properly prepared those, so that way we have primered them, we have painted them, we have scuffed them, sandblasted them, done all the necessary prep work ahead of time to do all these videos. So definitely make sure that whenever you are doing any part that you're wanting to dip, you make sure that you have the proper paint as well as a good clear coat to go over it. Now the clears can be, of course, a flat clear or a gloss clear depending on your preference. Maybe you're doing a camouflage, so you might want a flat clear, or you're doing a high-end part for an automotive piece, so you might choose a gloss clear, but you definitely want to make sure that you have a good clear coat to hold up to whatever the part is going to be used for. Looking at the paints, you definitely want to make sure that you're using a hydrographic paint. Now again, there are a lot of paints out there. You can buy those at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that, but they are not all made the same. You can even buy the rattle cans, Krylon, or whichever, and yes, they do work, but they are very inconsistent. So make sure that whenever you're doing this process, you're using the hydrographics paint, so that way it's one less headache that will cause you an issue down the road. Number 3 on the list is going to be activator. Now this comes without saying, but if you don't have the right hydrographic activator for the film, then of course the film is not going to work. So the activator is a very crucial part in the whole entire process because it liquefies the inks that are on the film and it makes everything glass out and it makes everything wrap and stick to the paint that's already on the part. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the right activator for the film and making sure that you have the correct amount of activator on the film to get the best results. Number 4 on the list is going to be an air compressor. Now, of course, we do offer some aerosol cans that you can use for the entire process, but if you're wanting to do this on a much larger scale, or maybe even turn this into a business, you definitely want to make sure that you have an air compressor, because along with the activator that you're going to be spraying for the film, you will also need that air compressor for spraying your paints or your primers or any of your clear coats that you'll be using to top coat the part that you just dipped. So you definitely want to make sure that you have an air compressor that is rated for all of those items. If you have the air compressor, then you also need to have the paint gun, because without the paint gun, you have the paint or the clear coat, but you don't have a way to apply it. So of course you definitely need to have a paint gun as well to make sure that you can apply everything correctly if you are not using the aerosol cans as we stated before. Number 5 on the list is going to be a rinsing area. Now, of course, some of you guys have already seen our rinse station that we have, and so you may not need to have something that elaborate. You could literally just take your part, set it on a table, and rinse it off with a garden hose outside, or hang it and rinse it, or something like that. It doesn't have to be super extravagant or anything like that. We have seen tons of DIY builds or anything like that, but the main thing is that after you dip your part, you always have to rinse it. So whenever you are dipping, you definitely want to make sure that you have that rinsing area, so that way it can get wet and you can rinse off the part all over and get all of the excess film off of the part, so that way you're ready to move on to the next step, which would be the clear coating. And of course, for a bonus tip on this, I want to make sure that I do put this in there, is that the Hydrographics is not as easy as it looks. Of course, I've been doing this for years, so I can definitely make it look very easy, but definitely make sure that you do all of your research beforehand and you know exactly what you need to do, how to do it, and what to do if things go wrong. Of course, if you're wondering on any of those, you can definitely check out our YouTube channel. It has tons of videos on everything for the dipping, so if you're wanting to find more information about that, definitely go in and check that out as well, because there is tons of information out there. But make sure that you do a lot of research and you know exactly what you're getting into, because this is still a professional coating. And of course, whenever you're buying supplies either through us or another vendor, you are buying a coating just like you are in an automotive world. So you need to make sure that you have everything all set right, it's mixed right, and it's done right to get the best results. So make sure that you do your due diligence in researching it and figuring out exactly what all needs to be done before you get started, and you'll definitely get a lot better results at the end. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. We'd always love to have you like the video, as well as if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. We'd always love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips on anything hydrographics related. As well as if you're interested in getting into the business, check out the links in the description below. It has everything that you're going to need for the hydrographics, including the tanks, the training, the film, paints, clear coats, and everything. It is all there on the website, so definitely make sure to check that out. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.